is this beautiful 8-petal flower with some branches in the middle. On this video, I'm going to teach you how to do the Briar Rose motif. I'm going to be using a 4mm hook and some acrylic yarn size 4 in 3 different colors. Okay, so we're going to start with a slip knot, and we're going to start with our color A for the base ring. So for your base ring, you want to chain 3, 1, 2, and 3. And now we're going to close off this ring by doing a slip stitch into the very first chain that you just made. So we insert our hook into that chain, grab the yarn, and pull through to close. And now this base ring is quite small. We're going to be working into the center of it. So you might have to pull your chains to find where the center is. It helps also if you kind of just insert your hook into the middle there. And you'll feel there's like a little hole. That's where you want to work into. So now for row 1, we're going to chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. This counts as a double crochet and a chain 2. And now we want to do the following combination a total of 7 times. So we're going to do a double crochet into the ring. And then a chain 2. That was my first time. Into the ring one more time, a double crochet, and a chain 2. That was my second time. I want that a total of 7 times. So I'm going to do that 5 more times, and I'll see you when I'm done. Okay, so I just finished my 7th repetition. Now to finish off this row, we're going to do a slip stitch onto the 3rd chain of the chain 5 that you started with. So we can count from bottom to top, 1, 2, 3. Into that 3rd chain, just a slip stitch. And this here is the end of row 1. Now for row 2, we want to join our color B, and we want to do that into any of the chain spaces. So you can go ahead and cut off your color A, join your color B at any of the chain 2 spaces that you have. I'll see you when I'm done that. Okay, so now I've got my color B into one of the chain spaces, and we're going to start row 2 there. For row 2, we're going to chain 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And you're going to do a slip stitch into the 4th chain from the hook. So we count 1, 2, 3, and 4. Into that 4th chain, just a slip stitch. And now we're going to work a picot stitch, for which you want a chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then you want to do a slip stitch into the 4th chain from the hook. So we count 1, 2, 3, 4, into there a slip stitch. Now we want to chain 1. And now we're going to start the row repeat. The row repeat starts at a double crochet into the next space. So into the next chain 2 space of the previous row, we are going to do a double crochet. Now we're going to work a picot 2 times. For a picot, we're going to do a chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then do a slip stitch into the 4th chain from the hook. So you count 1, 2, 3, 4. Into there, just a slip stitch. And you want to do that again. Chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Into the 4th chain from the hook, a slip stitch. Now we want to chain 1, and that ends the row repeat. So essentially, since the row repeat starts at a double crochet into the next space, what you're going to see is you're going to have double crochets into each of the chain 2 spaces of the previous row, and then those 2 picot stitches in between. So I'll do it again one more time with you so you can see it. Start the row repeat again by doing a double crochet into the next chain 2 space of the previous row. And now we want 2 picots, for which you want to chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Do a slip stitch into the 4th chain from the hook. And do that one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Slip stitch into the 4th chain from the hook. Now we want to chain 1, and then that ends the row repeat. So we can start it again by doing the double crochet into the next stage, and then repeating that all the way around. So do that, and I'll see you when you've come around, when you're at the last chain 2 space of the previous row. Okay, so I'm about to start my last repetition. I just did my double crochet into the last chain 2 space. So now we're going to finish this off by doing those picots. That's my first picot. 3, 4, 5. Second picot. And now my final chain 1. And to finish off this row, we're going to do a slip stitch into the third of the chain 4 that we started with. So we do 1, 2, 3. Into that third chain, we're going to do a slip stitch. And this here is the end of row 2. For row 3, we're going to join color C into a chain 1 between 2 of the picots. So you can go ahead and cut off your color B. I'm just going to do a chain 1 and cut it off. And I'll show you where to insert your color C. We want to do it into one of the chain 1s that are between the picot stitches. So the way that I like to join my colors, I just do a slip knot. And insert my hook into the space that you need to insert it into. And it's going to be the chain 1 between one of the 2 picot stitch repetition. So I've picked this one. I go into the chain that I need to connect it through. And now grab the yarn and pull it through. So now we're in the spot that we need to start in. We're going to start row 3 by doing a chain 1. And then doing 1 single crochet into the same spot. So into the same spot, just a single crochet. And now we're going to start the row repeat. For the row repeat, we're going to chain 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We're going to skip 1 picot, 1 double crochet, and 1 picot. And then do 1 single crochet into that chain between the next 2 picots. So essentially we're skipping this, the double crochet, and the picot, which brings you into that chain 1 between these 2. Into there, we're going to do a single crochet. And this is what we want to do all the way around. I'm going to do it one more time with you. We're going to chain 7, 4, 5, 6, and 7. We're going to skip the next picot, the double crochet, and the next picot, which brings us to the chain 1 space between these 2. Into there, do a single crochet. So let's do this all the way around. I'll see you when you're done. Okay, so I just did my last chain 7, and you'll see that now you can only skip the last picot, double crochet, picot. So to finish off this row, we're just going to do a slip stitch into the very first single crochet of the row. So we find that single crochet and just do a slip stitch. And this here is the end of row 3. For row 4, we're going to do a slip stitch into the next chain. So into the very first chain here, just a slip stitch. Now we're going to chain 1. And into this space that we are kind of currently in, you're going to work the following combination. We're going to work 1 single crochet, 1 half double crochet, 9 double crochets. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Now we're going to work a half double crochet and then a single crochet. And that's what's going to give you that nice petal. And this is what we want to do all the way around. Into the chain 7 space of the previous row, you want to work 1 single crochet, 1 half double crochet, 9 double crochets, 1 half double crochet, and 1 single crochet. So do this into each of the chain 7 spaces all the way around. I'll see you when you're done. I'm going to do this around on my own, And I'm just going to show you how to finish it just visually. Once you do the last, or sorry, verbally, I meant. Once you do the last repetition of the last petal, you're just going to do a slip stitch into the very first single crochet of the row. So over here, you're going to be finishing off with a single crochet. And now once you do that, then you do a slip stitch into the very first single crochet of the row. Then you can go ahead and cut off your yarn and thread your ends through. This one is absolutely stunning. I like it a lot. It is so unique and pretty. The second row looks like just stems and leaves. So that's beautiful. And that's why I wanted to do it green, so you can see it that way. But you can play around with the colors if you wanted it to have, maybe you want it to be just along the same kind of color palette, or even having different, for example, tones of pink. In my case, this is more of like a bright pink, but I can envision this being a different kind of pink, and maybe there's a pastel. This would be really beautiful if you went monochromatic as well. So real beautiful. Let me see, 2, 4, 6. It's got 8 petals, I believe. And then it's a little open in the middle. Hey, while you're at it, why don't you just subscribe to my channel? Just do it. Just do it.